GM, we are live. I kind of lost my voice. Because I was at the Ravens game last night. Really fun game. Glad I went, but I didn't get home till almost 1 in the morning. I was trying to help out the team, help out the cause, and my voice suffered for it. So apologies if I sound a little froggy today. That's what's going on. But hey, thanks everyone so much for hanging out. James Young, GM to you. This is actually a dog bowl. We are waiting for two. We're just hopped right on in to see where this fill was. And we're only waiting for two, so we'll hang out, wait for that. But yeah, quite the game. I mean, one of the keys to showdowns with the Lions is just not to be afraid to put both Montgomery and Gibbs into a lineup. And this is going to be true on the Thanksgiving slate. Like, I would make note of this. I honestly offhand don't know who the Lions are playing, but when you're making your lineups, don't be afraid to at least, I'm not saying you have to do it. Like, don't lock button both of them, but consider it. Consider it, because there are worlds where both of the running backs get there, and people are scared to do it. People are scared to play both Gibbs and Monty, and in the right script, which the Lions, especially they're going to be at home on Thanksgiving. Just think about it. Think about it. It definitely worked last night. It did not work for me because I had Zay Flowers in the captain spot. So I managed to squander a pretty uncommon combo and have nothing to show for it. But yep, really fun game. Shame to see the Ravens just defense not looking good. Derrick Henry, super costly fumble. They couldn't punch it in from inside the 3 with 4 chances. That was weird. I don't know why you're tossing the ball to Henry ever. It's just some strange play calling, at least in my opinion, for the Ravens. And the Lions, they stuck with what worked. I mean, they were just running it down their throats. Yeah, Jake Vinegar, GM to you. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Likewise, Dave M. Hey, good morning to you. Thanks so much for coming by. Appreciate the support. Greg says GM candles and the gang. Hey, Greg, thanks so much for coming in. The Ravens are kind of my second team, so I will root for them as long as they're not playing the Dolphins. But even the Ravens kind of looking mildly inept in times. We're better than the best Dolphins we've been getting. Joel, hey, GM to you, GM. The Lions play Green Bay on Thanksgiving. Okay, well, there's probably going to be enough good backs on the slate, but again, I'm just saying to consider it, because it will get you levered off the field who just simply will not do it. Hey, Tyler, what's good, Scata bros and gals? It is a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day in Scatabo Nation. It's always a beautiful day in Scatabo Nation, but it sounds like the Giants might be without Tracy for the next 2 to 4 weeks. That was the report that came out today, so I think we'll see even more Scatabo. I do think they kind of like the split, so I don't anticipate him turning into some kind of like 90% snap share god. I don't know if we even want that, to be honest with you, just the way he runs. He was famously puking on the sideline in the national championship game. So I mean, he will kind of run himself to death a little bit. So maybe a small split is good, but I do think, regardless of how they divvy it up, he's going to have the goal line work. He's going to get the high value touches. I think he's going to be perennially underpriced on DraftKings until they adjust for him, because he's going to, he's capable of being a PPR scam in addition to, again, the high value touches. So I'm a big fan of Scatabo. I've been a big fan this whole time, but excited to see the path is clear for him. Obviously, I don't like to see anyone get injured. I'm not rooting for a Tracy injury. I hope he comes back, because I do think he probably is at his best as the sort of the lead dog in a committee. But we all want to see our running backs, is in the like CMC role where they're getting 30 touches a game. I think that's a way to burn them out if you do that. Jake, Gibbs captain with Monty, Lamar, and 3 patch catchers was the play. I just had Flowers and should have had Monty at cap. Hey, well, Jake, I mean, if he cashed, it was doing better than me. Again, I was just tilting watching Zay Flowers. There was one play he was wide open in the end zone, like waving his arm, and I thought Lamar Jackson was looking at him, and he like threw it short to Bateman or something. I was not happy. I was not happy. Hey, Hartman, GM to you. Thanks so much for coming in. Again, for those of you joining late, I was at the Ravens game last night. I lost my voice. I got home at 1 in the morning. We're doing our best. We are doing our best. I haven't even looked at who's in this room. I haven't even looked at who's in this room. I think we'll get someone we like here. One of Gibbs, Saquon, Omari, and Hampton. Omari and Hampton, when this slate opened, his ADP was in the 30s. I don't know how many dog balls you actually got him in the 30s. Every time I saw him, he was going in early round 2. He's I think the word was kind of out that was underpriced. That was, again, they imported the ADPs over from the playbook, and there's usually very few playbook rooms. You can end up with some really weird stuff going on over there. So Omari and Hampton does go pick 9. Again, I think he's going to be a first round pick. I'll just take Saquon Barkley against Tampa Bay. That seems good. That seems good. All right, go AZ Cards. Must have player in the slate. Oh man. I don't know. It's funny because some of the running backs like early have kind of like not the best matchups, but I don't know. I haven't. I can't say go AZ Cards that I have a player I've locked in on. It's still too early. I'm still getting my feet under me in some of these, but no, I'll keep that question in mind. Maybe after we run a few drafts, we'll see. James says, is Montgomery going undrafted in these? Good question, James. Good question. I know he was going very late last time. Yeah, ADP of 64. I can't remember if I actually took him last night or if I thought about taking him with the idea that, like, if Gibbs got injured in last night's game, taking Montgomery with your last pick is like such a smash, or if something weird happened, and he's a fine pick anyway. So it was just something I had thought about. I can't remember if I actually did it or not, but it was one of those things where you kind of sort of like a Monday night first look kind of thing, but the opposite, where it's like, well, this player's, and if they get hurt, I mean, any player you're drafting that's yet to play could get hurt, and that's bad. But at least if it's with your last pick, you're just going to get a free swap anyway. I like Nico quite a bit against Tennessee. I mean, Odunze, yeah, this Raiders matchup is pretty nice. So some good options here. We'll do Nico Collins. Go AZ Cards. I will say I do like the Hurts AJ Brown against Tampa Bay, which is not super hard to get if you really want. I mean, Hurts ADP of 16, AJ Brown of 25. That, I think that means you would need to, I guess you'd probably have to take it ahead. I guess the ADPs don't really line up super well for it to be any kind of natural pairing, unless you were at the one hole and got like a huge faller on Hurts or something, which does happen. Elite quarterbacks sometimes do drop in these contests. So, if I could ever get that from out of the 1 or 2 hole, I think I would do that. Go AZ Cards looked more like the Lions. Yeah, I guess from one perspective, it definitely was more the Lions game than the Ravens game. Joel says, my first 12 person this week, no idea what I'm doing. All right, hang on, Joel. Let me catch up with chat, and then I'll see who's in this room. Cook yet? Dalvin Cook, definitely. Excuse me, James. Dear God, what have I done? I hit the wrong button. All right, yeah, James Cook for sure. Montgomery is an obvious late week ADP riser. Yeah, I worry it's a little chasey. I mean, the Browns seem pretty good against the run. This was a particularly good game script. I guess, I mean, if we expect the Lions to be ahead and they're salting away the game, then definitely something to be said for Monty. I will say, a little alpha from the game itself. The first touchdown that Gibbs scored, they got the ball to the goal line, and it was a Gibbs drive, and Monty started running onto the field like he was like, oh, I'm the goal line back, it's my job, and then they like called him back. So I don't know. Yeah, obviously don't know why he went out there. I don't know if he thought like, okay, this is my time, or one coach said go and then another said come back. But it was funny because I was watching that dynamic play out, and so it was kind of interesting to see Montgomery, sprinting onto the field, make it 5 yards, and then like turn around, because it also might have been they were going with the hurry up, and so they weren't changing personnel. But it was just something I was like kind of half monitoring. Terrence likes Jacoby Myers. I think he's fine. His ADP is actually, yeah, it's in the like late 30s. Don't mind that there. Cleveland's run D is legit. Don't love Monty this week. Yeah, that was my initial thoughts. Grab Igbuka now. Yeah, definitely grab Igbuka now if you can. I'm actually shocked he's still here, because Mike Evans, I'd be pretty stunned if Mike Evans plays after getting MRI on his hamstring. James agrees. Terrence says, I think the Lions are better with Montgomery as the lead back. again, I think they're good where the way they play it, and they just let Gibbs have enough plays off to where he can just continue to be like hyper efficient. So we've got Saquon and Nico. Scatabo going at pick 21. He has risen a little bit. His ADP was in the late 20s. He's come up. Running back goes off a cliff this in these drafts. So if you look, it's like you get Chuba Hubbard 28, Pollard 36, and then DeAndre Swift, Travion Henderson. I mean, my God, if we can get Chuba Hubbard, that's a podium pick. If we don't get Chuba Hubbard, I think I got to just take Tony Pollard, bring back to Nico. I just prefer, I think I prefer Hubbard in that New England game a little bit. But, all right, so Travion Henderson goes. That's a little bit of a surprise to me. Let's take Hubbard. People are less enamored on Pollard. This is a nice little bit of an ADP fall here, and now we don't have to worry about don't have to worry about clicking a late running back on this team. Everything kind of goes off a cliff. I think it might be because there's, if I'm not mistaken, there's 2 Monday night games. I think there's 2 Monday night games, and there's an early game in Dublin. So I think we're missing like 4 teams, if I'm not mistaken, compared to last week. I hope I didn't make up the 2 Monday night game thing, but I thought for some reason that was happening. Either way, what are we going to look to do here? BTJ, the vibe is in shambles. Jacoby Myers is not bad. He's never my favorite click. I think I would rather go down to like Debo or Devonta. No, not Devonta Smith with Saquon. Yeah, not sure exactly how I want to play it. A little surprised to see Tony Pollard still on the board, just because of having done a few of these. Running back does get like super thin. Like, all right, so JT Binniger, he takes Tony Pollard there. My preferred pick would be Debo. If Debo goes, I have to decide if I want to make the BTJ bet or if I want to do something else. I mean, I could take like Drake May and then Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry, though, feels a little bit chasey to me. Let's just take Debo Samuel. I mean, I think I like that. Atlanta's defense does not really frighten me to any degree. All right, let me catch up with chat, and then I will go over who's in this room. I promise. I said I was going to do that before, but also, let me get some night drive. Tieran says Gibbs has no leg thrust. He's better as a change of pace back. I don't know. I mean, I think he's just so explosive where if you need him in short yardage, you can also do that. I'd be reluctant to have too much criticism of Gibbs myself. James says, is anyone brave enough to click Godwin? If they are, it's not me. Maybe by the end of the week, he would need to be putting in like full practice, and then I'd need like multiple tweets saying no restrictions. Like I don't know, but yeah, I hope he comes back. I have massive bags in best ball. Montgomery said, "This is my time," and the coach said, "Sit down. It's not the 4th yet." Yeah, no, he was. It was slightly awkward. Would you pick a Washington running back for low ONP? Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm sure I'll end up with some like late Krosky Merritt. I think it's a little too cute to go McNichol. I don't know about Rodriguez. I think if I took any of them, I would still stick with the Krosky Merritt thesis, but none of them feel very good. None of them feel very good at this point. Dave says, yeah, there's 2 Monday night games, Jets, Dolphins, Bengals, Broncos. Okay, cool. Yeah, I knew the Dolphins, Jets played. But when you put the Dolphins on Monday night, you've got to apologize immediately by putting another game. I'm sure Bengals, Broncos looked a lot better to the NFL execs a week and a half ago. The no leg dust is new elbows are too pointy. Yeah, it's very hard to pick nits and Gibbs. Gibbs had his best yards per touch last year since Marshall Faulk. He's not a change of pace back. Tieran says Gibbs kept getting stuffed and picked up. The light on his feet and light in the rear. I mean, so many times when guys get stuffed, it's like, what are you going to do when like a 280-pound lineman is in the backfield, like, as soon as you hand the ball. Like, nobody's getting past it. Like, it can be a little bit more offensive line dependent. My question is Jaden Daniels going to play this week? Like, I'm very curious. I'm very curious about that, and I don't know if we have an answer. And I don't know if I'd consider taking him here and then playing the Q tag game. Hartman says, I'd imagine it helped Monty a lot getting most of his work late in the game when he was still fresh. Yeah, I mean, the Ravens defense was just done by the end of the game. Hunter Henry and Andrews feels chasey, but what are you going to do? Tight end is super gross. Yeah, no, I mean, Hunter Henry's was fine even before he went off. Like, he was getting drafted, but getting him, he went from a 50% draft. He was like 48% drafted in Dawg Bowls, and now he's going to be 100% drafted. James Young, that's why they have another RB. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. I think for so many of these teams, it just makes sense to split the workload. If it just makes both running backs like more efficient. FK Coolers, James Young, I saw your Godwin comment, wondered the same. Wonder if he stays around 5-6 receiver with projections and rankings. Yeah, I feel like everyone's going to wait to see what ETR does for that. All right, so we still need a quarterback. Did Daniels go? I must have missed it. I must have missed Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels did go. I'm actually kind of tempted by Daniel Jones here. I'm fine taking him naked. I think he can get there on his own. I mean, Stroud feels rather uninspiring. I'll do an unstacked Daniel Jones. I'm okay with that. I think I'm kind of into that. So let's do Daniel Jones. I would like I would probably pick Kincaid of these guys, but I don't think it was worth passing. And there's enough scrolly tight ends where if I don't get Kincaid, I'm okay with it. So let's see. So in this room, by the way, we had Easy's in here. J-Dubs, okay. So Mr. Worth is in here. We got Best Ball Viper, of course, past champ, and we got JT Vinegar here. So a good mix of friends and family. I see a few names I don't really recognize too much. A lot of these are regulars in these streets. So kind of nice to see some different faces in here. Okay, hold on. Let's see. I gotta scroll back up. Well, let me. Okay. Yeah, FK Cores. It's what do you get? Yeah, what do you win when you win? I think that's an important question to ask on the Godwin stuff. I mean, if he's fully healthy, you get a super elite wide receiver owned in 10% of the contest. So you win a lot, but I don't think you actually have I think the fully healthy wide receiver is not actually in the range of outcomes. James says, from what I've seen, I wouldn't expect Daniels to play. Team is talking about taking it slow, having Mariota so they don't rush Daniels back. Yeah, I mean, they said he was still day-to-day, I think, which is slightly concerning. Rondé Gadsden going to JT Vinegar. I mean, Rondé Gadsden got there on 30% of snaps. So if that creeps up, tight end production can be kind of variable week to week. But, if not for this week, Gadsden, definitely a name to keep an eye on. All right, so I think I'm okay passing on Travis Kelce. Cole Kmet. Man, I actually think... Let me make my pick. I think I actually just will chase Mark Andrews against Kansas City. I don't know that I have a reason to take anybody else. Again, I know it feels a little chasey, but all of these guys I want to kind of mix in. He could end up getting a little schemy to where he's not just stone free anymore. So I'll add him to the team. Obviously, I can't stack him with my quarterback because Warren is long gone. So this team ends up being Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, Chuba Hubbard, Nico Collins, Deebo Samuel, Mark Andrews. It's always hard when your team feels like a 6-leg parlay. There's no stacks, no correlations, but in a vacuum, I like all of these plays. I didn't want to force CJ Stroud in over Daniel Jones. I just sometimes the Stroud upside can be a little bit limited there. Maybe if I'd taken Stroud, I would have considered Chig to try to game stack that game a little bit. But yeah, don't mind this team. I think it's perfectly reasonable. Let's see what some of our friends did here. Let me catch up with chat and then we'll see what the friends our friends did. Go AZ Cards just to LA. Gosh, I don't know who the Chargers wide receiver 1 is. They're all three get drafted, and as you can see, the order is unsettled. I mean, Ladd still goes way ahead. We had Allen go 45, QJ go 44, and Ladd at pick 20. Obviously, this person did a Herbert double here, so But that said, even the person that wasn't stacking Herbert took Allen here. Again, that's a choice you have to make. There's going to be a lot of Herbert doubles, and it's going to be kind of a hodgepodge of who gets paired with Ladd, who gets paired with Ladd in these Herbert doubles. I suppose you could take Herbert and then try to get Allen Johnson at the 4-5 turn, but I think I've seen Johnson go this and earlier. That said, I hate to say my favorite right now is QJ because that sounds horrible, but I'm gonna mix all three in. I will say that. Greg asking, is JMO dead? I'm panicking. Davis told me not to panic in the Discord, so I'm gonna try to listen to him on that. But I'm mildly concerned. I mean, after the first drive, I was like, oh man, JMO, I can't believe I was ever worried. And then he literally did not have a catch the rest of the game. I don't even think he had a target the rest of the game. It was very weird. I mean, they were so effective with the run that it makes sense. But yeah, JMO was just completely involved by the end of the game. Yeah, you missed a really great first half, and then the second half was like a little bit of a slog. Maybe that was my liking the Ravens showing through there. James says, no, the Lions never had reason to get away from the run. Yeah, that was kind of what I felt. Totally fair. Nice to see the sun. Yeah, Amon-Ra looked great. I mean, he had a really nice touchdown catch. They had the play to kind of ice the game was like a beautiful play action throw to Amon-Ra, and he is a receiver that you just are so happy if he's on your team. Would you chase Jamar Chase? All your Jamar Chase for Quinn Johnston? Jesus Christ, Hartman. It's grim. It's grim. FK Cores, Amon-Ra is so good. He pulled some slick double move to get his touchdown. It was amazing. It was beautiful, beautiful play. Ravens went out of their way to get Andrews involved. I think it continues. Yeah, I'll mix him in the last round, a lot if he's free. Yeah, go AZ Cards. I agree. The King Henry fumbles are getting a little weird. He went to the sideline. He seemed mad about something. I don't know what happened there, but it's starting to get 3 fumbles, 3 games is a little bit concerning. Greg says, I'm not going to play much this week, but windmilling Ladd in, it's got to happen. No one's ever gone broke martingaling their receiver when the situation has changed, because I don't know. I mean, Keenan Allen's getting a lot of targets in there, and Ladd, I don't know. I'm very concerned about our round 2 Ladd best ball bags. I'll say that. I'm not clicking Ladd this season until Keenan Allen goes down. You'd like to think it's one of these rising tide situations. The only thing that could save us is the Chargers are oddly pass happy that we weren't expecting. But I don't know. I think Ladd's going to have some spike weeks, but I don't think we're going to get that consistent floor we thought we were getting. If Davis goes into a panic, I think he might have a stroke. Brains protecting itself. Well, I don't think he was as big. I think he liked JMO. I don't think he was like a JMO truther. I was a JMO truther. JMO had 1 more target, but no catches. Okay. Yeah. I honestly don't even remember the target. GM Artillery Pross, thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Ladd was so good as a rookie. There's no way he busts. I don't know. I don't know. Again, some of these things can be like little matchup driven, scheme driven. I think he'll be fine. I do think he'll be fine, but we will see. James Young, unless the team brings in a trusted vet with this. Yeah, definitely the exact thing that could be bad for him didn't happen. Jacobs was the big JMO truther. Yeah, he was. I was as well. Although it's looking a little dicey. JT Benninger, let's see what you did. Neighbors, Kyron, Tet McMillan, Tony Pollard, Bryce Young, Oronde Gadsden. Yeah, I like this. I'm definitely going to get some Tet McMillan, Bryce Young teams in my hopper there. Let's see what Best Ball Viper did. So he's not afraid of fumbling. Derrick Henry, Romo Dunze, Emeka Egbuka, Travis Etienne, Drake May, Kyle Pitts. Yeah, I like the team. He went with an unstacked quarterback with a little rushing upside himself, so that makes me feel marginally better about my Daniel Jones situation. Easy went Jonathan Taylor, Amon-Ra, Zay Flowers, Sam Laporta, Jared Goff, and JMO. So he built a Lions overstack with Amon-Ra, Laporta, JMO, and Goff. So very interesting there. And then, of course, J-Dubs here. He went James Cook, Cam Scatabo, A.J. Brown, Keenan Allen, Pat Mahomes, and David Njoku. Yeah, I like this team. I like this team a lot. I like this Cook, Scatabo, A.J. Brown start. Feels really strong there. Again, I think this week, another week where I really prefer the left side of the board to the right. But you know what? I think we made it work over here. I think we made it work. All right, let's hop in a regular BR and see what the lay of the land is. If anyone wants to get in, we're waiting for three. All right, Go Easy Cards. Hartman created 10 burner accounts and subscribed to all this channel because of your QJ wide receiver. Hey, I mean, we're on the road to 300 subs, so if you have a spare account, I don't need like Russian bot farms, but any subs I can get. Yeah, by the way, if anyone, please like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. I'm so bad about asking, but I would appreciate that. That'd be fantastic. Jacob's not anti-JMO. Davis was trying to tweet at him after the first drive, and that ruined JMO. Yeah, it was funny because the week before, Jacob tweeted about JMO, like when JMO was goose egging, and then JMO like ended up being just fine. It was kind of funny, and this was like the exact inverse. Dave says, I think JMO was just touchdown variance last night. If he gets one, it's a ho-hum game. I'm not too worried. That's fair. It just feels like if you're not involved in this like kind of high octane, what was sort of pacing to be a shootout with the Ravens, it feels like, well, when are you going to be involved? So I think that was like kind of my concern. Jake says picking at the ends is not fun. Yeah, I've done only a few of these, and I just, it's literally the bus meme. The left side of the bus is like so happy, and then the right side of the board feels like, oh God, I'm like, reaching for Bryce Young stacks. James Inc. said, Hartman, you're describing the behavior of someone who doesn't watch football. Well, I think I missed what you were. I think I missed what you were referring to. Yeah, Hartman's confused too. I'm not 100% sure. Hartman, Go AZ Cards. Oh yeah, my bad, Hartman. I must have read that wrong last night. James Young, the nerd slappy stuff is fun during the summer, but now we need football analysis. I mean, I think we are. I think we're all talking. I think we're all talking football. We're not talking slappy spectrums at this point. We're into the nitty gritty. I think we're all good. Joel says the slate feels pretty gross in general with no Jets, Cincy, Dallas defenses to pick on. Yeah, gotcha. It's funny you say that, Hartman. When I was at the game, what I was reminded of is how nice it must be to be just a true laundry bro. Like, everyone there is just like living or dying by the Ravens winning without like a single cent on the game or on fantasy. They're just like, I love my team. I hope they win. I'm going to talk about this all week. Like, I'm like, this is so wholesome. Like, most of these people here are not like, they're still having so much fun at this game. That was one thing. The other thing that is now going to live rent free in my head is I was sitting next to a very Baltimore lady. And if you've been to the Maryland area, you know the Maryland Baltimore accent. It's very distinct. And she was calling Lamar Jackson LJ. And I've never heard Lamar Jackson referred to as LJ. And I'm like, is there a whole subculture of people calling Lamar Jackson LJ? And am I just not aware of this? Like, I never even would have considered that. So anyway, just absolutely stunned that people were, and this was not just like someone who'd never been to a game. This was like a diehard, Ravens fan calling him LJ. So anyway, little Baltimore lore there. The game was a shootout, but it's because the Ravens look like a run funnel. Yeah, well, I guess the Ravens offense kind of sputtered at the end, so like they stopped. They were getting shot at, but they weren't shooting back. James Young says they didn't use JMO because the Ravens couldn't stop either running back. The best way to keep Lamar off the field is to bleed the clock. Sure. Yeah, they were also like somewhat effective when they were throwing the ball too, was the issue. It seemed like they could do whichever they wanted. Chat gang, we got any contenders in the Q1 final? Hartman got 3 out of 20. Hey, that's awesome. Congratulations there, Hartman. Again, I wish I had done that contest. I'm sure there were a lot of swings late in that one. Yeah, it looks like we got our guy FK Coolers in at the 1 hole. He took CMC. Nice. Let's see, Dave. Maybe she's a new Stravos. I don't know this reference, Dave. I'm sorry. I don't know who Stravos Arceus is. 2 in the finals for me. Nice, FK Coolers. Congratulations there. Go Easy Cards. I missed my goal of advancing 5 of 9. Guess 4 will do. Oh, boo-hoo. Go Easy Cards. 4 finals teams. Congratulations. That's awesome. 4 finals teams is really strong. I got 1 through Greg. Lost another by 1.2 points. Need one of those Lamar fumbles to stick. That's such a bummer when you see those that are like at the margin. All right, so let's do Saquon. Gibbs, Henry, that's fine. If we look at the scrolly running backs, I don't know if Omari and Hampton will come back to me. Probably won't. I do think I like Saquon. I like Saquon quite a bit. All right, let's do Saquon Hampton. Let's do a little Saquon Hampton. I have concepts of a plan of what we want to do with the rest of this team. So we'll do that. We'll pull Hampton all the way up into the first round. I don't think you need to do this, especially this early, but I think Hampton's going to move up from this ADP of 17 in this contest. So of course, if I pull him up to pick 7, I am not helping the ADP, and B, I'm not actually getting any of this value. But I do think if you get in early BRs, this is a spot I probably will want to attack. FK Coolers, I normally would have had a 3rd, but ran into someone who scored 145 when I got 135. Oh. Yeah, that is a tough run out there. Artillery Frost, they advanced the CD Lamb team to the 1Q finals. Oh man, the Lamb injury stuff is so weird. It's been like, I think he like went back in the game, didn't he? And then they were like, I don't know. It's anywhere from like super low ankle sprain to like he's gonna get put on IR for 4 weeks. It's been a little weird. Congrats. Go Easy Card says congrats, Hartman. That is nice to get any team into the finals. Yeah, I agree, Greg. Tough beat there. Got 1 through. I'm pretty stoked on in Drake May. We trust. Hartman, congrats, Go Easy Cards. Good luck, everyone. Yep. Good luck to all of you with your finals teams. Go Easy Cards did not advance a Trey Tucker team. Yeah, James asking how. Greg says pain. That's pretty brutal to not get a Trey Tucker team through. I think I hit my ceiling in the semis, the 1Q with a 154. Gosh, 154 is pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Greg says Lamb had that classic spray ankle day of feeling, doesn't swell the next day. His ankle's probably the size of a basketball. Yeah, I guess that is a good point. That does happen sometimes with sprained ankles. You think you're good, and then it's like, oh no, this is going the wrong direction. James says one of my final teams is a wide receiver room of Waddle, Olave, Downs, Cup, Bateman, QJ, Fetch. I would go to. I actually wouldn't be too mad about that. Olave against Buffalo is actually a pretty nice week. Josh Downs just randomly spikes. QJ is solid, and then Waddle's anywhere from like the guy you need to like a stone 0. I wouldn't be too mad if I flipped the cards and that was my wide receiver room. I mean, honestly, I think that's also going to be kind of unique. All right, so let's get Igbuka onto the team. Do I want to do Igbuka Warren or Igbuka Odunze? Tough choice here. I like both of these. Options. Let's just do Igbuka Odunze. We definitely want Igbuka. I think he's going to be a riser. Let's take Odunze. Let's take this. This feels like a real Friday team. Like I feel like this is going to be the ADP on Hampton is going to come up a lot. Igbuka might come up, so we'll see. This running back or wide receiver pairing might be hard to get at the 3-4 turn later, but you can still get it now. Whereas I pulled Hampton up. Anyway, I do like this construction of Saquon, Hampton, Igbuka, and Odunze. Let's see what FK Coolers is doing. He's got CMC, Henry, Devontae Adams. So let's see which direction he takes the team. Greg says, that's big time. We were both on the Waddle train for the final. See you at the top. You're the man now, dog. Go AZ Cards. I lied. The score shifted and I got that 5th in. 5 out of 30. Hey, congrats. That's awesome. That's awesome. I lost 2 eliminator teams late, and I think Montgomery was the culprit. I did not have much Montgomery this year, and so he he definitely buried some of my stuff. Yeah, killing this week. Yeah, that's fantastic. 5 out of 30 is pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. All right, let's see. Let's see what Mike Deasy does. I have to imagine he's probably not going to take Baker Mayfield. Seems like that would be a little strange, but you never know. I think I want this as a Baker team more than a Caleb team, but I'd be open to either one. So FK Coors takes Herbert, Mike Dees takes Ricky Pearsall. We're going to need another tight end. We just did the Mark Andrews thing. He's a little bit of a scroll now. We'll see if he's still a scroll at the end of the year. I like a lot of ththese guys. Fannin, Strange, maybe Njoku. Cade Otton's interesting if Evans is out. I don't think I want to double up on Tampa, but he's certainly live to get there. So let's scroll a little bit for Baker. I think Baker will be a little bit less owned. So we'll go Mark Andrews and Baker Mayfield. So this team ends up being Baker, Saquon, Omarion Hampton, Emeka Egbuka, Rome Odunze, and Mark Andrews. Yeah, I like this team. I think this team is actually this is a team I like in my portfolio for BRs this week. I'm definitely happy with how this went down. Let's see what our friend FK Coors did. He's got CMC, Derrick Henry. I mean, that's pretty nice start there. Devontae Adams, Lad McConkey, Justin Herbert. So he gets the Lad Herbert stack. I'll be interested to see how many Lad Herbert stacks there are versus Herbert, QJ, Herbert, Keenan, myself. Because we see QJ's getting drafted. It's not like he's going completely unowned. I wonder who ends up being the least owned between QJ and Keenan. Lad, I think Lad is going to be drafted most of the time in this, I believe. Go Easy Cards. My Trey Tucker team only took 3rd with 130. Tough pods had because it had Lamar, Jamar Chase, McBride on it. Yeah, that's tough when you lose one of those teams that's going to have like some low owned pieces, and it would have been nice to like have that in the finals. Yeah, great job there, James. All right, and so FK Coors, he takes Travis Kelce with his final pick, who is of course playing the Baltimore Ravens. All right, let's run another. I like this slate. I feel like it's pretty good. It's a little smaller than the last slate. All right, so waiting for 5. If y'all want to get in now, you simply do not have an excuse. FK Core says, I will probably mix and match in the Wildcat because all 3 Charger wide receivers have similar targets. Yeah, for sure. Let me see the Wildcat. So the Wildcat is the $3 150 max. Okay, I might have to throw some more Wildcat bullets in. I haven't done much, but I also haven't had the time to. I've been doing a lot more Dawg Bowls, so maybe this week I shift that because the Dawg Bowls can get pricey quick, and you play a lot of BR, you at least get something back. The Dawg Bowls, it's very easy to have a really dreadful week. All right, so we got some good friends and family here. We got J Dub, so Mr. Worth in here, and we got FK Coolers at the 5. I am at the 3. So I don't love the Rams matchup for Jonathan Taylor. Like, I almost kind of prefer Bijan against Washington, but I do think I'm going to do enough of these to where I don't want to end up with no Jonathan Taylor. He might just simply be the best running back in the league right now, and fading that is bad. He's going to be playing indoors in a dome. So, probably still take Taylor at the 2 in this one. All right, let's see. James says, when in doubt, pick the guy with the highest ADOT. FK Coolers agreeing. Hartman says, cover 4 is good too and easy to max it. I can't remember which one that is. It's not the 4 max. I mean, it says cover 4, so it might be 4 max. I don't know. I feel like I was up late. FK Coolers, yeah. And so far, I like Herbert this week, so I have decent exposure to the Charger receivers. Yeah, Herbert is going to be like super highly owned. He's the QB4, so he's going to be owned in I mean, a lot of contests. Like, I'd be surprised to see him undrafted in most things, because people also will just take him unstacked occasionally, which I almost feel like is a good. I would consider doing that this week more than maybe some others, because he's not going to be taken unstacked a lot. And so I think you're going to leverage a lot of the teams that do it. And it's possible that none of the 3 receivers get there. Like, if the ball gets spread around. I mean, I'm not saying only to take him unstacked. I'm just saying, like, think about it. Think about mixing that in, because I don't mind that this week. And he's also has some rushing upside. Like, he could just, like, throw 3 and rush for 1. And if none of the receivers get there, and you pick 2 good receivers, you could really, like, box out like a huge chunk of the field. Go AZ Cards has 0 QJ, 1 Q team, so no high finish. Well, I mean, QJ could bust this week. He doesn't seem like it, because I feel like defenders have a tendency to just, like, trip over their own feet when they're covering him. But DBQ's a brutal ROI, a couple bullets for funsies. Yeah, I'm gonna have to reassess, because it's very it is very tough. It is very tough if you don't get there. I mean, Nez has been, like, on a massive run. He's done everything but qualify. I mean, he's had multiple teams in the top 10. So, and even with those, it's probably been, like, tough. Like, I think, if you get a 4th place team, you get a grand back, but it's like, you really just have to, like, get there. So I'm definitely rooting for Nez to do it, because he is, and when we do the Dawg Bowl, should definitely, like, watch the teams he's making, because he's like over the target right now. Cover 4 is $7.04 max. Okay, yeah, definitely want to prioritize those. We'll see if I want to run this. Sometimes I like to run the small field stuff off stream, but I don't care. I mean, we'll see. Whatever people want to do. Engage 8, cover 4, victory formation, nice small field. Yep, I agree. FK Coors, and that's a good point. Those are the contests you should be, like, prioritizing over the big lottery tournaments, like the main BR. All right, so we got Jonathan Taylor on the crew. Of course, getting JT Puka should be pretty much impossible. I'll do a Hampton Devontae Adams thing. That seems kind of fun, I think. I'll take Omari and Hampton first. So we got Jonathan Taylor, Omari and Hampton. Scatabo super live in this too. He's going to be drafted most of the time, not every time though. I'll take Devontae. We'll do a little bit of a bring back in this Rams game here. So we'll take Devontae Adams and then see how we want to land the plane. J-Dubs, he started with Puka and Gibbs. FK Core started with Bijan and Henry. All right. Go AZ Cards. I'm a huge fan of JT, but I'm taking Bijan over this week. Rams rush D, no joke. Yeah, I don't think I would never begrudge anyone for doing that. I guess for me, it's just like, if I'm going to end up in 80 of these, I don't want to have, like, no Jonathan Taylor. Just the role is so good, and sometimes even guys in tough matchups, like, the Colts get it in deep, and then he just, like, scores a goal line touchdown or two. Like, you don't necessarily need him to have, like, players can get there on volume, basically. Like, he could definitely get there on volume this week. Hartman asking, did you do the DFS masterclass thing? Yes, and I would recommend it. It is very well done. I think it's worth it if you're going to put any volume into these contests this year. So I would definitely recommend that. And I think Pete has, like, a promo code, or Davis has a promo code. So just make sure you do that, because you get a few bucks off of it. If you do end up signing up. There is no promo code, Chad. I'm sorry, but I will plug their stuff free of charge. All right, so we got Taylor, Hampton. Let's see, what do we want to do? What do we want to do? I need a wide receiver. Pearsall, London, QJ. I'm tempted to go back to Drake London. I'm not really afraid of Washington's pass defense. We're going to do that, and I'm almost wondering if we're just going to get really weird in this BR. It feels like a little early in the week to get like truly outlandish, but I kind of want to do Herbert and Hampton. I don't think anyone's going to do that, and maybe we can capture like a lot of the touchdown equity on this team and just get a little unique here. So we'll take Herbert. I mean, maybe this would be nicer if this was a Malik Neighbors team. Where is Neighbors going? Neighbors went at pick 17 to FK Coolers. Okay, very interesting there. So maybe if I had thought ahead and taken Neighbors at 14, I would feel a little better about this. But you know, we don't need a bring back to get home, especially in the main BR. So let's take Herbert. Quasi unstacked. We'll take him with Hampton. See how that goes. All right, man. I'll do it when they have a Chad Kendall's promo code. Oh God. All right. We'll have to. You might be waiting a while. Hartman. My scroll players of Olave. He averages 12 targets a game. Yeah, no, I like Olave a lot in this. I really do. Dave says, this is my first year doing any kind of volume. Masterclass helped me sharpen my focus, have a clear idea. Yeah, no, it's very good. And it's good for people, even if you have been doing this a long time. Like it's very well done. I think they really like flesh out the ideas. I think it's presented in a nice way. The discussions are like each a good length to where you can like be, out on a walk or doing whatnot and listen to them. Because I listen to them on podcast. I haven't watched the videos. I think that'd be a little better because I think sometimes there's stuff on screen that's nice to see, but you can definitely absorb most of the content in podcasts that they put out. Betting on an Olave spike has lost a lot of people. Stay safe. Yeah. The thing is he really could just be such a PPR scam in a game that they're probably going to be trailing. Dave M, week 2, I broke exactly even, made $1 last week. I had like a 200. Hey, Dave, you love to see it. $3. Congrats on the $3. I mean, that's hey, profit is profit. Never a size shame here. All right, so what do we want to do? I mean, I could take Andrews again. I like Brenton Strange. I think that's fine. Let's just take Brenton Strange. Let's mix it up a little bit. I don't want to only end up with Mark Andrews and end up just like hyper levered to him, but I will be probably taking him more than some of these other guys. So this team ends up being Herbert, Jonathan Taylor, Omarion Hampton, Devontae Adams, Drake London, and Brenton Strange. Let's see, what did J-Dubs did? He went Puka, Gibbs, Hurts, Igbuka, Ladd, and Henry. So he goes unstacked Jalen Hurts. I like that. He's going to be a ton of teams doing Hurts Brown or Hurts Devonta or even Hurts Goddard. So I like that. And then FK Coolers, he went Bijan, Henry, Neighbors, Odunze, Laporta, and Caleb. So he gets the Caleb Odunze stack. I do think this is going to be a fairly common stack. That doesn't mean not to do it. It was common last week, and it smashed the slate. So don't just not do something that's good because it's popular. Sometimes things are popular because they are the correct play. So I do like this Caleb Odunze stack. I'm sure I will get to some. of that this week. Let's see what the Dawg Bowl's at. Let's see if we can run another one. If not, we'll just hop in. Ooh, waiting for 11. I must have just missed it. Okay. Back to the main BR. All right. Hartman asking, is Olave the wide receiver version of Kyle Pitts? Yeah. No one has ever lost money chasing that. By the way, this is a main BR waiting for 2 if anyone wants to get in. Yeah, James. Brian, hey, first of all, GM to you. Thanks so much for coming in. Lost one of my 5 big eliminator teams. Oh, no, to the Andrews touchdown. Yeah, that Andrews touchdown crushed me in Showdown. I was min cashing. I was hanging on for dear life, and I needed that. I needed not that. I'm sure a lot of people needed not that. But I'm sure some people needed exactly that. So, there's always someone on the other side of the trade. But yeah, Brian, that's a bummer to lose it. I've only did one big elim. It's still alive. I'm pretty happy about that because I wish I had done more of that contest because I like the format more than the head-to-head. But they switched it up on all of us. Yeah, that is brutal. Hey, Who Hames, sup fam, GM to you. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Who Hames, appreciate you, appreciate the support. The Who crew is here, including Go AZ Cards. All right, so J-Dubs is he at the 1. and we're at the 6. So try to keep the board up so people can see what's going on. Huhaim's asking how AZ Cards is doing. For those who do not know, Go AZ Cards punched his ticket to the Dawg Bowl last week. So again, once again, congratulations to you, Go AZ Cards. But so we do have a Dawg Bowl finalist, a Dawg Bowl finalist hanging out here. All right, let's see. And J-Dubs is officially on the clock. Yes, GM to you, GM to you from James over there. All right. We have not done with an elite quarterback here. So maybe we'll try to do an elite quarterback. This slate, we've got 3 elite quarterbacks, possibly 4, depending on Jaden Daniels. This ADP does reflect, I think, a sentiment that Daniels will not play this week. Once you get past Allen, Lamar, and Hurts, it's really, to me, a lot of stacking partners. Daniel Jones, though, I'm more than willing to take him unstacked. And then a lot of good scroll down options. I mean, people are really out on Mahomes. I don't think that's necessarily right. That is going to be a huge game for both teams, because whoever loses is going to fall to 1-3 and be in a lot of trouble. This year. I'm not going to pass on Saquon against Tampa Bay. I know Saquon had he didn't score last week, but I'm not going to hold that against him too much. All right, so we're going to go Saquon, and then what do we want to do here? I'm trying to think of if we want to go elite quarterback. All right, let's do an elite quarterback team. Let's go Allen Saquon on this team and figure out how we want to stack or not stack Allen. Do we want to do any scrolls? So let's see what the room hands to us. So we got Josh Allen and Saquon Barkley on this team. Huhaim's for a season-long best ball needed some Andrews hope. Yeah, I had a lot of Andrews, and I was actually surprised I dropped a couple of advancing teams in BBM because I had a lot of Andrews, but it must have just been Monty, because I was very light on Monty, so it must have netted out poorly. I also have a ton of JMO, and he didn't do anything. So the Monty people definitely had a big week, but it was huge for our floundering Andrews bags. we needed that. Go AZ Cards, watching Wake Up Best Ball. I'm doing great. Hey, and we appreciate you, Go AZ Cards. Thanks again so much for hanging out with us. Joel says talking to Huhaim's, Andrews, Hawk, Henry, all getting there. Big exhale for season long. Yeah, we all did need that. Hey, the Gale, good morning to you. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Week 4 is upon us. Time is flying. Oh, God, I know. It's like we wait all summer for football season, and it just like moves in the blink of an eye. In the blink of an eye, we'll be talking NFL playoffs and the gauntlet, and it's like it goes too fast. It goes too fast. But you know what? We got to enjoy it. We're in the thick of it. Bye weeks start next week. Like, we're already getting bye week madness, and that is one of the things I don't love about the two the 2 Monday night games plus the doubling game, is like we almost have the equivalent of like a bye week with losing 3 games that should be in this slate. But I do think I like that for the smaller BR. It just makes the Dawg Bowl scrolls. There's less scrolls. I mean, to me, there's 6 less teams, so obviously there's less scrolls, but it feels like there's more of a cap. Like there's a little less room for creativity at the end, or at least maybe maybe it's better. I mean, maybe I do better with like a few less options. But if you look at the end of the Dawg Bowl, it's not like last week where if you scroll down, it's like, okay, there's like 20 playable receivers. There's like there seems like there's a lot less when 72 players have been selected. So we went Allen Saquon here. Let's see what we want to do. What do we want to do? I like Igbuka a lot, and let's do Igbuka Warren on this team. I think there's going to be a tendency to do a lot of Allen Kincaid, so maybe we'll plan on doing Allen and Keon Coleman on this team. But I do like Kincaid a lot. I like him even without Allen, but I think so. We've had 2 tight ends drafted. Yeah, Kincaid's a tight end 3, so he's going to be drafted, 90+% of these. And I think he's going to be stacked with Allen a lot. I think a little bit of a way to stack Allen, get different, is Coleman. We were all super excited after week 1. He's had a couple down weeks. It might be a time to buy a little low on Keenan Allen there. Who Hames says, for sure I was in all. Yeah, I wasn't in on Henry. I wish I was. I talked about this yesterday, that I really thought the Pats were going to draft a tight end, and so I wasn't taking him in pre-draft. And once they didn't, I should have gotten back in on him, and I just kind of like I was taking a lot of other tight ends in that range and didn't take enough of him. Joel says CD Lamb, Zero Burger probably knocked out a lot of teams off the advance line. Yeah. I mean, Jamar Chase looking dicey now. CD Lamb not being good. Not being good. Getting injured. It's been a little tough year for the left side of draft boards. That's for sure. I mean, right now the answer looks like it's CMC and Gibbs seeming like the early plays. I mean, Justin Jefferson having tons of problems. So it looks like the early wide receivers are having a little bit of a tough go, at least to start the year. Jake says, how's everyone doing in the pug? Jake, I need to add the pug to my advance rate tracker. I actually don't even know if I got in the pug. I did a little bit of travel this summer, so I missed some of the side contests because I was like out of an underdog location. I got to check. Who Aims? I'm basically third everywhere. Jake, all good. 25% Scatabo going to get me there. Yeah. The Scatabros in utter delirium here. It's been good. I have I made the Badge Bros Brawl my Scatabo contest. So I did 120 Badge Bros Brawls. I have 89% Scatabo. So if Scatabo's who you need, I'm gonna take down the Badge Bros Brawl. Who Aims? Maybe it was Puka all along. Puka wide receiver 1 season. I mean, if we redid BBM, like where's he going? The 102 behind Gibbs? I don't know. That would be my having not put any thought on the matter. All right, so let's do not QJ. I don't want to click QJ. Let's do Keon Coleman. So do I want to do Coleman? Let's do 2 wide receiver team. I think. Yeah, let's do a 3 wide receiver team. Let's go Olave, Coleman. Let's lean into this game stack. I mean, I really like Scatabo. I think that would have been perfectly fine as well. Genty going undrafted is a little crazy to me. Genty's a smash. Judkins is interesting. His ADP has come up a ton. It's come up a lot in the Dawg Bowls. But Chuba Hubbard, I think, is a good scroll. It's just thin. It's thin here. Kamara would have been interesting potentially instead of Olave. That might be a cool way to play it, especially with Kamara being a big scroll. It sounds like we have a few people here who like Olave, so maybe this Olave Allen thing isn't as clever. I almost think Kamara Allen. So I think that's a good concept there. All right, let's see what J-Dubs ends up doing. So, by the way, for the audio listeners, this team is Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, Emeka Egbuka, Warren, Coleman, and Olave to round out the team. J-Dubs, he started with CMC, Lamar Jackson, Brock Bowers, Lad McConkey, Zay Flowers, and Cam Scatabo as the hammer. Go AZ Cards, undrafted Scatabo. What channel am I watching? Go AZ Cards. I mean, I'm not just a complete lunatic, but he would have been fine on this team too. But I did want to try to build a script that said Buffalo gets pushed and needs to keep scoring, and I think part of that might need a little bit on the New Orleans side. I think sometimes we force bringbacks without thinking about what the bringback does for the team, and I think in the case with Allen will just dud in games that they get up early, and then it just becomes a ton of James Cook. like, I don't know if I would feel the need to bring back James Cook as much as I do Allen, because I need Allen to get pushed, and so I'm hoping Olave is the pusher. Whoever says this is the Scatabo running back 3-week team. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be taking a lot of Scatabo in BR, so do not fret. Do not fret. All right, I'm going to assume the Dawg Bowl is probably not filled because that last one was waiting for 11. It's probably the same one waiting for like 9. Yeah, waiting for 7. All right. The thing, though, that might fill fast when the Dawg Bowl ends because people tend to like chain draft those. But all right, waiting for 1 in the main BR if anyone wants to get in. Also, if people can like and subscribe, would truly appreciate it. Does a lot to keep the lights on here. It lets me go to the games in person to scout them out. But no, that probably will be the only Ravens game I get to this year. So I was glad I was able to make it, but the stars aligned. The stars aligned for me to be able to go. All right, waiting for 1. If anyone wants to hop in, let's check those pug advance rates because I know people have been clamoring to see where that's at. All right. The pug. I only got 3 pugs in. And we're not doing so hot. We're not doing so hot, folks. Or was the pug a 3 max? The pug was a 3 max. Okay, so I did max the pug. So we are just out of the money here. Let's see what this team is. Justin Fields, Jordan Love, Tua, Saquon, Achane, Scatabo, Tajay Spears, and Krosky Merritt. Wide receiver room: Garrett Wilson, Jameson Williams, Zay Flowers, Matthew Golden, Bateman, Westbrook Ikeen. When did I draft this team? Good God. Xavier Williams, Sam Laporta, Mike Gesicki. Must have drafted this team in like 1892. Well, this team I think is live to move up. I mean, losing Fields is a bummer, but he should be back. But we're gaining Scatabo. I don't know what we've got at Krosky Merritt. Better days ahead for Matthew Golden. This team could eke its way up into 3rd. We're not so far behind. All right, let's look at the other team though, because it's got to be terrible. I think the other draft is filled. Let's see our 9th place pug team, so we can all laugh. All right, we are well out of the money. Oh, Joe Burrow, Herbert, Stroud, Chase Brown, Tony Pollard, Swift, Giddens, Marks, Krosky. I must have been going through a Krosky Merritt phase. Nico, Ladd, J-Mo, Flowers, Trey Harris, Christian Kirk, Colston Loveland, Mike Gesicki, Hunter Henry team in 9th in the pod. So the Joe Burrow thing is bad, and it looks like I was an integrity protector, so I deserved it because I only have Chase Brown. All right, let's go back. It's regrettable. That is regrettable. All right, let's go back to the live draft here. All right, so we're in the 4. We got Patrick Barnes, YouTube, at the 3, and I don't think I see anyone else out. Go Easy Card, Scatabo 40-point game is waiting for week 17. Man, I hope so. They're playing the Raiders week 17. So it feels like if you can get a team there, like if you just get a team there, like in Vegas, in a dome, man, I don't know. Could be wheels up. We just got to get that one team through to the finals. So CMC goes, Bijan goes. And now Patrick Barnes YouTube takes Puka Nacua. So he lives the Puka truth. Man, I'm tempted to take James Cook over Jonathan Taylor. I don't know if that's galaxy brained. We're going to stick with ADP, but James Cook looks so good this year, and the matchup seems so much better than Jonathan Taylor running into the Rams, which does make me nervous. But the role and volume is just so there for the Rams. I don't want to be scared off of him. That just seems like again, not trying to play scared here. This is not enough of a fall on Josh Allen to force me to draft him. So we'll go Jonathan Taylor, Nico Collins. I mean, maybe something to be said that Jonathan Taylor, Josh Allen's going to be a hard combo to get. I just don't think it actually is. You do get in rooms where people are reluctant to take the elite QB. So I'm okay with that. I also don't think there's going to be any like big changes in ADP. If anything, you might get some people nervous about Taylor, excited about Gibbs, to where he could kind of end up living in this 4-5 4-5 area. Patrick Barnes YouTube, however, does not pass on the value and gets Jonathan Taylor there. And we will see what we put together. I really like Nico this week. The only thing I just don't love drafting Stroud. Just don't love drafting Stroud. But I'm probably not going to end up with no Stroud because, he can spike, but it just always feels slightly thinner than some of the other QB options. All right, so what do we want to do? I almost feel like if Jalen Hurts comes to me, I wouldn't mind taking Jalen Hurts. There are enough running backs to where I don't mind scrolling. Patrick Barnes YouTube cannot take a quarterback, so let's do Hurts. I'll pencil in Hurts, AJ Brown. I think if you're willing to pull Hurts up, you can get Hurts, Brown, Igbuka, which I think is kind of interesting. I'm almost wondering if the concepts of a plan today would be to do something like this and try to take Igbuka and then make it a Devonta Smith team. If I'm assuming AJ Brown will get taken, but I mean, sometimes if people just get stack oriented, they won't. There's no guarantee I get Igbuka here. I think he's going to be very popular again. I think this ADP is going to rise. I could take Devontae again, bring back to Jonathan Taylor, but I'm not as bring back oriented, and I don't know how super correlated Devontae and Jonathan Taylor are anyway. I mean, I think it's fine, but I don't think it's like any kind of like absolute must have. So let's do the Igbuka thing. I think this is kind of interesting. Let's see if we can get Hurts. And then if AJ Brown falls to me, I would just prefer to stack him with AJ Brown. But if not, let's do a Jonathan Taylor. If somehow, no, I was going to say if both of them go, but that wouldn't make any sense. Why would both of them go? There is something to be said for taking Devonta Smith anyway, because this can be done. This is a nice ADP on fall on AJ Brown if he does come to me, so I might just take it. Whereas if you get the start, you can take Devonta Smith every time. So I would not want to pass up an AJ Brown faller if I could avoid it. I think. Thinking ahead to tight end, maybe grabbing Mark Andrews in this one to try to get ahead of his possible ADP rise, but we'll see. We will see. So he takes safe flowers. I wasn't surprised. I was looking to see if he was going to stack Lamar. I only have to dodge Patrick Barnes YouTube. Patrick Barnes YouTube, pretty sharp player though. He might just scoop the ADP value. I don't know, especially when he has Allen. It's all going to depend if he's going like Keon Coleman or if he just snaps up Kincaid here. He might. I don't know. I'll be interested to see what he does. I hope he doesn't take AJ Brown because that would be nice for us to actually like construct this team how we want. James Young going a complete list of players with 60 receiving yards and 1 touchdown in each game. Keenan Allen, thanks for reading. Yeah, I mean Keenan Allen is absolutely smashing. Yeah, Patrick Barnes YouTube. You know what, Patrick Barnes YouTube, I don't like you. I'm taking Dalton Kincaid. I hope that was your plan. Yes, I did take Kincaid out of spite, but I think Devonta Smith is enough of a scroll. So we'll take Devonta Smith on this team and get the Jalen Hurts stack, and that will be that. That will be that. I hope he's happy with his unstacked Josh Allen. Or have fun. Get ready to learn Knox. All right, so this team ends up being Jonathan Taylor, Nico Collins, Jalen Hurts, Emeka Egbuka, Dalton Kincaid, and Devonta Smith. We'll take a Devonta Smith here. And let's see how Patrick Barnes YouTube lands the plane. We both could have had what we wanted. He takes Kyle Pitts. Have fun with that. All right, let's see what the Dawg Bowl is at. Let's see what the Dawg Bowl is at. Waiting for 3. All right, let's do a Dawg Bowl, and then maybe we'll run 1 or 2 more BRs, and then we'll get on out of here. Mike Robb says, in 5 career games versus the Chiefs, Andrews only averaged 2.6 catches and 21.6 yards per game with no touchdowns. That D seems to shut him down each time. Yikes. That's all I can say. That seems bad. That seems bad, Mike Rob. Yeah, I mean, sometimes those stats like can lead you astray a little bit, because the fifth game, like, what was that, like probably at least 2 years, probably 3 years ago now. But yeah, I mean, certainly, I'm trying to think of how the Chiefs have fared against other tight ends this year, and I'm not really coming to mind too much. But yeah, that does make it tough with the Ravens, as they can be so variable week to week who gets there. I mean, we could go from Zay Flowers being like a complete nothing to Zay Flowers being the guy you need next week. So yeah, 6 times a charm, says Hartman. Dirty P says, GM, I like vengeful Chad. Screw that guy. I mean, you got to push back a little bit. I mean, he's got to know you can't just bully people because you're a Dawg Bowl finalist, and you're Patrick Barnes YouTube. Sometimes the little guy pushes back, and so we'll see. Plus, I was fine with Devonta, but I did want that because it was some ADP value that I thought was good. But I can't begrudge him too much for taking him. I mean, I think AJ Brown is a absolutely fantastic pick against a not very good Tampa defense. Tit for tat is the meta, yeah. Well, the other thing is I do really like Dalton Kincaid this week. I think he's just going to be very chalky, but scrolling down to Devonta, I think was enough. I didn't think I need to get like two scrolls. Like that was plenty of scrolling. All right, before this starts, I got to blow my nose. This has become a tradition here. I'm finally starting to not be under the weather, but give me 1 second. I think Hartman, I think you're right. I think he does auto these, so it's probably just going off of ranks, which had that high. Yeah, I know Patrick Barnes YouTube does tend to auto a lot. So, you know what? We'll blame him anyway. He could have had he would have ended up autoing Kincaid probably. I will say that. So, we got him. We got him. Plus, auto drafters in a room are annoying. I don't care who you are. It's just like why? Like I just feel like it's not a good way to go about doing these. You're just gonna end up. I don't know. Not a fan of the auto drafters. Sometimes they can help you. I think it's better. I don't mind them as much in BBM because if they draft a crappy team, it's just like, well, you're not going to get out of the pod, and you have one less team to worry about. But in Battle Royale, it's like, well, I'm competing against the guy in my room just as much as I am in someone who's drafting on like Friday afternoon. And so it's like, it doesn't help me that their team is bad. And if they just like soak up ADP value, it's just kind of irritating to me. But we all do what we want to do. I will not begrudge people for how they choose to play, but it's just like, it kind of just messes with the general flow of these, where some of the fun is seeing what people are intentionally constructing. People say stay in the lane. It's like a little bit, kind of over said, I think, in these, and you definitely don't have like a God-given right to your stacks and stuff. But it's one thing for somebody to consciously make decisions, and it's another for them to just be like plucking the highest ADP or their ranks, which are generally going to track at least somewhat closely to ADP. All right, we're waiting for one in the Dawg Bowl. If anyone wants to hop on in, the water is fine. I promise I won't vengefully take any of your players. And actually, I don't promise that. I might, but I only reserve that for rare instances. Yeah, Hartman, totally agree. Not a fan of auto drafters in general. Yeah, I just like, yeah, it's, yeah. All right, here we go. We are off and running, and we're in the 11 hole. Gosh darn it. Go AZ Cards. You already got a Dawg Bowl Seat, and you got the 101. What is this? What is this? So we got Go Easy Cards at the 1. We got Nez at the 4. We got Crutches at the 9. We got our nemesis, Patrick Barnes YouTube, at the 5. We got Hartman at the 10. My God, this is a room of absolute killers here. James has a complete list of people who punched Dawg Bowl team with Keenan Allen 0. Oh, man. Go HG Cards, shooting back here. Let's see what we can get here. We are on the right side of the board yet again. Go AZ Cards, 10 seconds to lift off. 10 seconds to lift off. Let's see what he does. Man. We did get the 10. I mean the 11, not the 12, so it could be worse. It's always nice when the turn takes like a QB or a tight end, because then you can you can push that position around the turn, so you gain like information. So it'd be nice if top stat like went elite quarterback, just kind of a thought, or when they're full at running back, like being able to gain information. All right, so Go AZ Cards, he takes CMC at the 101. Let's see what Nez does. Is Nez afraid of the Jonathan Taylor matchup? This is the first bit of information we're going to glean. No, Nez is not scared of Jonathan Taylor. Be not afraid, he says. So we are off and running. Dirty P says, I got to tell you, I rather like auto drafters. I'm doing well in those $1 Dalmatians because I drafted my teams versus a bunch of. Well, the thing about that is that contest was like kind of built for the auto drafter, but I definitely think that it's nicer in the season long format to be in a room with auto drafters than in the BRs, because then again you're like more likely to advance if they're constructing like terrible teams. So I am glad you were able to scoop some plus EV in those rooms. Go Easy Cars only doing 4 or 5 a week. Next, go punch a ticket with the team that was drafted on this stream. Hey, Go Easy Cars, that'd be awesome. Yeah, that would be really cool. Would love that. All right, so a string of running backs interrupted only by Puka Nacua has gone in this draft. Crutches is up and followed by Hartman. Go Easy Cards. If Egbuka gets back to Nez, I bet he drafts him. Where is Egbuka at 22? Yeah. Probably. All right, let's see. Crutches, he takes the full clock to take Lamar Jackson. Man. I would have taken Hampton there, Hartman. I absolutely would have taken Hampton. So what do we want to do, people? What do we want to do? All right, we're going to go full concepts of a plan here. We're going to pull Egbuka up here and hopefully do Egbuka Hurts. If top stat takes Hurts, I am going to be, I'm just assuming if he goes elite quarterback, he takes Josh Allen there. We're trying to do something a little different here on the right side of the board already. But I do think Egbuka is going to rise, and I don't think it's going to be possible to get Egbuka and Hurts together. So I think it's just going to be very underdone. Scatabo at pick 13. Jesus Christ. All right. So this is going to get a little thin at running back, folks. We did not take a running back here, but we went Egbuka Hurts. That, of course, was not a shot at Nez. That was because I do like this Eagles Tampa Bay game. I think I'm going to be able to get, where's Devonta go in this? Yeah, pick 45. Which is, so in the ideal world, with one of our next 2 picks, we'll take Devonta Smith and see what happens here. All right, let's see. Hartman says, I should be paying attention to stream IDK. Yes, definitely pay attention. If you're not paying attention to who I'm taking, I understand you. But if you're ignoring who Crutches, who Nez, who Go AZ Cards is taking, then I don't know what to tell you, because there's a lot of good information here on this stream. I will say that, believe it or not. Dirty P says, I didn't get the max to contest. I got 10 of the first, little Dalmatian 7 in the second, but advancing a lot. Yeah, that's awesome, Dirty P. Definitely nice to find an edge and be able to exploit it to one degree or another. And I mean, I autoed those contests, so I'm Yeah, I don't know if you were in any of my rooms, but I have some like terrible teams in there. Oops, I pulled that up before. Your team is already interesting. Go easy cards. We're trying something. Over here. Do not try this at home. We're experimenting. James Young, the Rams have allowed the 15th most rush yards per game at 84.5. I'm not sure the Rams matchup is as daunting. That's fair. James. I think it was more. I think a lot of people were expecting more out of Saquon this week than they got. I don't know if part of that was because Lane got injured. I can't recall if he came back or not. It is something to keep an eye on there for sure. But hopefully we don't get completely frozen out at running back again. Seeing Scatabo at pick 13 warms my heart as a Scatabo fan, but does kind of a little bit of sticker shock seeing him there. But so Nez takes Devontae Adams, so he does a Jonathan Taylor Devontae thing. I know I talked about not necessarily seeing that as a the most hyper correlated matchup, and of course Nez just jams it down my throat and does exactly that in a dog bowl. So I take that for what you will. Clearly Taylor Devontae is a stack that we should be at least somewhat intrigued in. Crutches, he takes Bucky Irving with Lamar Jackson, and Go AZ Cards is up to see who he pairs with CMC. So he takes Drake London. I like the Drake London pick. I mean, definitely an opportunity for a bounce back against Washington this week. Kind of a weird game. I was not expecting the Panthers to shut down Michael Penix and co, but they shut down Michael Penix and co. Go AZ Cards, he winds the clock down. He hems and haws and takes Judkins there. Judkins was going kind of late in these, but love the Judkins pick. He is one of those players that we should have been taking when in the deepest days of the FUD in BBMs, and I did not get enough of that. But thankfully, I had a lot of him when he was expensive, and so I still have like 8% of him in BBM, even though I essentially had stopped taking him for a very long time. All right. Let's see what Nez does here. So Jaden Daniels going. So the Q tag game in effect here in the Dawg Bowl, pick 27. I mean, I don't hate it because you will get a quarterback. Won't be the quarterback you want necessarily, but you will get a quarterback. And my only issue is I wonder where Jaden Daniels goes if he is healthy. Obviously after Jackson, Allen, and Hurts, just we'll see how far. Nez takes Caleb at pick 28. Man, he was Nez was huge on Caleb last week. Interesting to see him go back to him. Obviously, Caleb was not going to come back around. Just trying to piece this together. Stafford is very rarely the guy you need. So, maybe he's setting up DJ Moore. I wonder if that's kind of Nez's plan. And, Caleb, you're probably somewhat okay taking him unstacked if you have to. I also don't know. Maybe he's thinking Cole Kmet is a break glass if somebody takes DJ Moore. We'll keep an eye on what Nez is doing. Patrick Barnes YouTube takes Chuba Hubbard. Genti at pick 30. I love that. So let's see what's left for our hero here. That's me, by the way. The hero is going to get stuck, frozen out at every position you need. All right, but you know what? We will be okay. We will be okay. Let us queue up Devonta Smith though. I do want that. At some point. If we don't get it though, it is actually fine. Like Jalen Hurts, I'm okay taking unstacked. Wait, what? AJ Brown is here, and Patrick Barnes YouTube didn't take him. Dear God, we're about to get our heart ripped out of our chest here when Crutches or Hartman takes AJ Brown, but it's okay. All right, let's see. We'll queue up some of these running backs because we probably will need a running back here. I don't think I want to push that all the way. So AJ Brown goes to Crutches. I can't begrudge him for that. That was a really nice discount on AJ Brown there. Let's see what top stats got. He's got Scatabo, Nico. I'm interested to see what Hartman does here. So Hartman takes Kamara. Oh boy. Do I take Devonta first? Or is Tony Pollard enough? I think Tony Pollard is worth more to me than just eating an unstacked Devonta if I have to. I don't have a running back yet. I think we just take Devonta here. All right, so we've got Jalen Hurts, Tony Pollard, Emeka Egbuka, and Devonta Smith. If we can land the plane with another running back or receiver, I'll feel pretty good about this. I mean, Tony Pollard not my first choice as a running back one, but the Houston matchup is actually a little bit tough. But I don't know. I think Tennessee is going to kind of slowly improve throughout the year. Like I think by the end of the year they're going to be somewhat competent and will be, it's just going to be kind of baby steps, I think, for that offense. Hartman, if you had taken AJ Brown, I would not have been mad because it was a pretty big value, and there's usually not huge ADP values in a Dawg Bowl. So I would not have. It was not a Patrick Barnes YouTube situation. James Young, the Rams have allowed the 15th most rush yards. Oh, I already read that. Kelly, hey, GM to you, Kelly. Thanks so much for coming in. I did see this tweet from Scatavo's mom. It was fantastic. Yeah, I could not be more into Scatavo. I thought about following her after the tweet, but I'm like, I don't need to follow players' moms. But it was really cute that she put that out there. I figure if she makes another good viral tweet, I'm sure it'll come across my For You page because now the algo knows how much I just want to see Scatavo content. But yeah, Kelly, that was pretty cool. I liked how on the broadcast they noted that he grew up with a brother who was 6 years older than him, and he used to like play fight with his brother, and that's how he learned to just like not be afraid. I'm like, yeah, I could just picture like little Scatavo being the most annoying little brother ever, like attacking his big brother, just being an absolute maniac. But no, I'm so excited for Scatavo, and just seeing what that Giants team can do, especially if they bring Dart in. It could be like a fun bad team. Like they're definitely in the realm of fun bad team versus like bad team. So all right, so let's see, check in on our friend. So Crutches, he took Lamar Jackson, Bucky Irving, AJ Brown, and Jacoby Myers. Hartman, he took Omarion Hampton, Josh Allen, Alvin Kamara, and BTJ. Yeah, I definitely would have taken Kamara over Pollard, but I think Kamara and Allen obviously makes sense. Nez takes Keenan Allen with Caleb. Now, where does Moore go? Does Moore even get drafted? No, ADP of 53. Very interesting. Let's see what Nez. DJ Moore went right away, so we'll never know if Nez would have taken him in lieu of a possible running back or whatnot. But Nez passes on the possibility of the stack. We'll see if he forces the stack with Cole Kmet or what he does. Go AZ Cards. He goes CMC, Drake London, Judkins, and then takes QJ and Penix. So Go AZ Cards locks up the Penix London stack there. I feel like Nez is going to take Kmet because Kmet has a weirdly high ADP, but let's see if he does. It might not be. Hendo coming to pick 50 is kind of nice for this Tubins guy who desperately needed a running back. That was a little bit of a gift for him. Let's see. Nez winds the clock down, takes it to double zeros, and takes Swift. Okay. Caleb Swift. There you go. So going quarterback, running back stack. Not done super commonly, but I like that. There. Running backs. Oh my God. Monty, Krusky Merritt, Tootin, Ramondre. Dear God. And then if you really want to go dumpster diving, like Kareem Hunt. So that is brutal. All right. So I Sorry, I am coming up here. Go Easy Cards. Yeah, you almost got your Herbert QJ stack. I was wondering if you were going to try to double that up. Shoot. Give me. I'm having some tech issues here. Okay. All right. Nez probably made auto Swift because he's too gross to. Yeah, Nez did not want to click that. All right, so we are coming up. What are we going to do? Do we want Monty? Tight end is. I'm going to take my tight end. Just depends on who we want. Who do we want here? I mean, let's do the double. I don't do a ton of Hertz doubles, but I don't hate this. Let's do the Hertz double, and then we will. I think we'll take Monty. I mean, he pretty much broke the slate last night, and he's going undrafted here. I know it was a little wonky, but I think I'd rather that. I mean, JMO's bounce back is certainly intriguing. I like Michael Pittman. I like Keon Coleman. I like some of these names, but I do think, Montgomery. I think Montgomery is perfectly reasonable at pick 62 in this contest here. So let's take Montgomery, and this unfortunately will be the last draft here. I think I got to run after this. So we end up with Emeka Egbuka, Jalen Hurts, Tony Pollard, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, and David Montgomery. All right, I don't mind this team. I think this team came out pretty good here. Let's see what Hartman did. He went Hampton, Josh Allen, Alvin Kamara, BTJ, Dalton Kincaid, and Terry McLaurin. Yeah, I mean, Terry McLaurin at pick 63. That is not bad in the Dawg Bowl. Crutches soaks up the value on JMO there, ending the team with Lamar Jackson, Bucky Irving, A.J. Brown, Jacoby Myers, Mark Andrews, and Jamison Williams. So he gets the Andrews-Lamar stack. We'll scroll around. Let's see how Nez lands the plane there. He needs a tight end. None of these guys can take one. So the tight ends left. I mean, Komet's at the top of the board. I'm very interested to see if he does end up going the Cole Komet route. Go AZ card, snap pick QJ because he should be going 40 picks earlier. Yes, if you want to get a Dawg Bowl canceled, you can take QJ at pick 8. But no, I like QJ a lot. He's a nice receiver to get this late in the draft. I have to say there. All right. Let's see what Patrick Barnes YouTube does. Our nemesis, his team. He goes Saquon, Bowers, Chuba Hubbard. So he goes early tight end, 2 early running backs, Jennings, Chris Olave. I feel like he'll take Geno if he's not autoing, and if he is, he'll take whomever. Brock Purdy. Okay. There you go. Brock Purdy. So playing the Q tag game or autoing off of ranks. We'll see what Nez does. Nez does not snap pick. He takes Brenton Strange. Okay. So that's also good to know. I like Brenton Strange as a late tight end dart. I've been taking him earlier. So good to know that he must really be out on Komet because, Komet was there for him. Komet was the highest ADP pick, but takes Brenton Strange on his team. And all right, and then we'll see what Go AZ Cards does, and then we'll probably get on out of here. But everyone, thanks again so much for coming in and hanging out. These are so fun. Again, really cool to see what some of the sharper players are doing in these Dawg Bowls. Go AZ Cards, his team. He's got CMC, Drake London, Quinshon Judkins, Quentin Johnston, and Michael Penix. Needs a tight end. Let's see who. Hopefully it tells us who Go AZ Cards takes because sometimes the last pick in the draft doesn't actually show through. But again, thank you all so much for coming in. If you can, on the way out, hit the like, hit the sub. Go AZ Cards double stacks. He takes Kyle Pitts. Yeah, like that. I like your team. Go AZ Cards. But again, really appreciate it. Had so much fun with you guys today. Tomorrow, hopefully I get a little bit more sleep. Turns out staying up going to a Monday Night Football game, and then, the masculine urge to walk home after. So yes, I walked home, took about an hour and 20 minutes through the streets of Baltimore after the loss. So I did not get home until very late, but it was a nice experience. But I am now absolutely exhausted. But thank you again so much for hanging out. I will see you all tomorrow. Take care, everyone.